The biggest on the board by a lot, by a lot. I had the Thunder winning 19 games this year, and I'm going to miss. They're on pace to make me wrong by more than 19 games, by double. They're on pace to make me wrong by 22 games because I think as we've gamed it out here, they're on pace for 40.5 wins. So let's round it up and give them 41 and hit me for a 22 miss there.
What was the calculus? Come on, wasn't it very clear that they were going to be very good?
I imagine that we did this after the Chet Holmgren injury. And I also imagine that my thought process was, if anybody's willing to steer into a tank for, I guess this would be a third year in a row, it would be the Thunder, maybe just the second year. Anyway, I thought that if any team had the stomach for just losing on purpose, it would be the Thunder. And I thought that Holmgren being injured was just, more of a reason to do that. Obviously, the misses in addition to that were Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being an MVP candidate for the entire year, and Jalen Williams being much better than anybody expected, Josh Giddey getting better, Isaiah Joe being a scrap heap, instant spacing on offense. What else was wrong? The other Jalen Williams is a good defender, leads the league in charges taken. I'm sure I didn't have any inkling of like what kind of player he was even going to be at the point we did this. So just kind of across the board, but ultimately the Thunder just not tanking and in a lot of ways being too good to tank. So yeah, big miss by me. I'm trying to, what did you, so this was a miss for you. It was also your biggest miss, but just nowhere close to the level of error that I hit.
Yeah, I had them at 24 wins, which would put me off by, it's 15 plus, it's 17. And I'm just pretty much with you. We definitely did this after the Chet Holmgren injury, but I don't know, like, how much would that have changed our impressions of the Thunder? We probably just assumed that they would maybe not shut people down, but just they would be worse than expected because they were so reliant on a bunch of unproven dudes. I don't think either of us were high on Josh Giddey. Did we see this coming? We both didn't know enough about Jalen Williams, clearly. So I think that all factored into it. And we expected some of what also, I think, fucked with some of these projections is we expected some of the quote unquote top end West teams to be better than they actually were.
Yeah, that's another big one. I mean, we did not foresee, and I don't know that anybody did, the level of parity that we had this year. Because you would assume that, if we're picking win totals as low as we did here, where I was in the teens and you were at 24, you got to you're pricing in that, there's 8 or 9 really good teams in the West that are just going to beat up on the Thunder. And it turned out there was one consistently really good team in the West all year, and that's Denver. Everybody else has had rough streaks. So that hurt too.